Today we're going to see if this thing, which fits in there, will still fit when we put that thing on it. Let's have a look. Alright, if you follow the channel at all, you'll know I moved sort of recently. And one of the things that's really created a problem is this deck is kind of a pie and it creates a lot of air for my my Weber kettle that makes it hard to control temps. So I got this thing which essentially seals off the vents at the bottom and uses a fan to control how much air is in there, thus the temperature. It gives you an app. I'm sure there was lots of videos on it. I hadn't seen really one on installing it in a performer. It fits, says it fits all the Weber kettles. I'm sure it does. It doesn't look like a lot to it. I love that they give you a screwdriver, although I have a pry tool that I like better. But it looks like a decent little screwdriver, actually. If I understand it right, it's a pretty straightforward install. Snap this in the base where the surround for the ash catcher used to be. This contains the unit, but also has the fan mechanism. So as several videos I looked at advised, I'm doing this upside down. I removed it from the performer frame. And what I'm kind of worried about is whether the vent sweep arm will give me the right angle for the control unit here. You need to have some access to this, and will it point the right way? I think it will. It's relatively straightforward. Just kind of clip the clips here in where the leg clips for the old ash can catcher used to go, and you got to slip the ash arm through here just so you can kind of close it all the time when you're not cleaning out ashes. I'm going to go ahead and pop it in. Let's see what it looks like. So I think this is a critical tab because this one and this one will bend in. Instead of the screwdriver, I'm going to use my metal majory pry tool, which I very much love. And the gasket seals it off. I do have the arm through. It's a bit of a tight fit though, so let me fiddle with two hands. Let's see if we got the angle right. Alright, so I'm glad I had this. That screwdriver would have been a little short, and I really had to kind of get on this one in particular. So it's tabbed in, all three. And I think I need to hook that hook to there just to make it do the thing. Let's keep going. Now I was 180 degrees wrong. So time to figure something out. So it appears the solution is that gets knocked out by a screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, and a dead blow hammer, just gentle tap. And I can reverse it, I hope. And then I'll put all this stuff back on. But let's pry it off first now. Back to the metal, and I'll just show you like the metal majory tool. Nice and long. You can really get down in there. So anyway. So it turns out to make this go right, I'm essentially going to break that by taking it out. And it's kind of old and crusty and beat up and not sealing well and whatever, cleaning well very much anyway. So parts coming from the Jungle Company, and we'll get back to this tomorrow. Alright, so it's the next day, and I got this first thing delivery from our friends. And basically what I need to do is flip it so that it's pointing this way, sweep arc, and not this way, sweep arc, because that's the front of the grill. And I'd be okay if it faces out here. I'm great if it faces here, but it can't go that way or that way because it'll be up against the porch or facing the interior where I don't really have access because of charcoal storage. So I'm gonna take this down in my garage because I think that's gonna be a little bit pain in the butt to get out. And then we'll install this and do some cleanup on the interior too. So these scrapers have, the new blades have the right surface to work with. All right, so we're in the garage. Here's the plan of attack. I'm gonna clean all this stuff out. I got some orange degreasing stuff somewhere that I'm gonna use then to clean it, and clean the outside too, just so we get a good seal. Then we'll try to start this over again. The easy install, but I'm trying to give you the like not so clean YouTube experience, which is definitely true for the messy garage. Anyway, let's get to it. Oh, and the what I'm using is just this little plastic scraper. It's got sort of razor blade shaped plastic blades that are pretty sharp and will do a good scrapey. Let's go. All right, so this is turning into both a how to install the one-touch cleaning system, or whatever it's called for Weber, one-touch cleaning system, hey. But also a lesson on why to keep your grill clean and dry, because I'm sure before you comment, yeah, my grill is super dirty and I'm embarrassed about it. So note for the future, I have the handle out, which is just, I had to get a punch and knock it through. It was not coming by itself. And similarly, these little tabs don't want to go through, so I'm going to encourage it with the hammer a little bit and see where we get. I really don't want to pry on this because I don't want to scrape or bend it. And then I'm going to clean the interior barrel as well as out here so that the sealing surface for the spider will be a good one. So back to work. A guy who does a lot of automotive DIY, I said I have little plastic, hopefully non-destructive pry tools, because hammering it through, I'm worried I'm going to make a dent around here, even though I'm trying to be judicious. Look how much cleaner it is once the thing's out, that slot. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, I think, is do some gentle prying around the edges. Let's see. Much better than hammering, but still requires a gentle hand, I think. So anyway, let me get my both hands going here. Huzzah! So let's clean the outside. All right, so that's much better. The towel comes clean. It doesn't look great, but the towel's clean, which is good enough for the girls we date. Now, I can't figure out in my head if that's Project Binky or Vice Grip Garage, and if you watch both and you've made it this far, let me know. Because in my brain, I immediately think it's Project Binky, and I'm then corrected in my own brain to say it's Vice Grip Garage. So let me know. All right, time to do the inside. That's going to take a bit. But first, I think I'm going to open the garage door. All right, it occurs to me I could use oven cleaner for this. I don't feel like doing that. I'm not sure I have any. What I'm doing is kind of dividing this into eighths, basically half and half between each of the grate supports. And I'll kind of scrub with a soft toothbrush, scrape with a scraper, then go here with the soft toothbrush, scrape with a scraper, hit it all, and then use my more aggressive plastic bristle brush. I'm trying not to scrape this thing too much. And as I'm going, I kind of spray the next panel. So actually, I'm almost done, as you can see, but that seems to be yielding the best combination of results. Like the toothbrush doesn't mind a rotational motion, gets in the nooks and crannies nicely, and seems to do a lot of work. Nice to follow up the scraper. And I've got a sort of done thing, let it dwell while I'm working over here, for example, and then go back with that, and then I wipe it all down. I actually wipe it between the scraper and toothbrush and the spray for what becomes that bristle brush. But anyway, coming out pretty good. Gonna keep working. All right, hosed it off. That's the don't look too close version of clean. It's pretty clean. So order is important here. So it's 1, 2, 3. For those old enough to remember. All right, on the third, aside from setting the angle, the reason the order is important is the third one has the tab. It's a locking tab. So all my spiffy pliers came to play. Once I got it past that, the jaws only close a certain amount, but it got it kind of over the edge. And then I use those to press it through gently. So trying to mock this up, I've put blade 1 this way and blade 2 straight toward me for what will be the front of the grill. And that should create an angle where the closed position for this guy is roughly there. And that gives me good access to the spider. All right, so this range, so when the door is closed, the vents are supposed to be open so that the fan can control the air. And it does give me the ideal position because this is the front. Like how this performer has it. And where it goes is kind of set by these tabs, so I'm going to click it in and see if it works. Alright, so we're all clicked in, facing the perfect position, actually. All these tabs are in, and the vent is closed, and I can open it. Or I guess I can open it here, but close it there. And all we're trying to do is get a good action there. So when it's closed, very slightly, not full flow, but that's fine with me. So, all right, let's go get it upstairs. All right, facing the right way, fully opened, with the door closed, at a very good angle for me to clean when necessary. All right, well, that's all together. Cleaned up the grill a fair bit, reinstalled the slow and sear, which will continue to be used, hopefully just managed better by the Spider. And it looks great. It's got a perfect angle on it. Controls and all that work. Yeah, pretty excited. You've got better videos to show you, how it works and all that stuff, how to set it up. But hopefully you got a little idea of how easy it is to set up, what you might want to do to your Weber in terms of giving it some new hardware that will help you better control it. So I'm going to do a quick run of the coals. It's coming up to temp here. I actually have to go look at the app, but I threw kind of a short run of coals in there just to get it going and burn off any of the remaining stuff that's in there, and just kind of have a look and see how well it does on that small amount of coals. And then I get to start cooking stuff. So anyway, so my journey with the Spider begins. So sorry in advance about all the traffic noise, but I wanted to do a quick post first cook wrap up on the Spider Venom. So I would say this: as long as it had coals, it did a fantastic job of maintaining temperature. I did have to refill the basket the equivalent of 2 times. I kind of put a 3/4 basket in first, thinking that might be enough, but it definitely wasn't. And then I had to fill it a second time where I thought another 3/4 would have been enough, and it wasn't quite. So I put another kind of half basket, and that was about right. So the point being, it used a lot of charcoal for a 7.5 pound pork butt, but boy did it do a great job monitoring the temperature. I loved being able to monitor the temperature of both the pit and the meat on the app. I was driving around actually when I realized that second add of coal was necessary, so I had to kind of rush home. But the pork came out great. And overall, I'm really excited. I think I need to kind of adjust how I think of time and coal use and things like that. Part of the deal is the Weber, especially when you're as high up off the ground as I am here, I think probably isn't as efficient as their Huntsman. It's one of the reasons you might get that. Just uses less coal because it can radiate the heat from the grill itself, the pit itself. But it was a great first cook, and I got some beef ribs yesterday to do my great first second cook, I hope. And we'll see. It'll be my first beef ribs, and I'm hoping the Spider Venom makes it simple. But in the meantime, stay messy.